Namaste and welcome to the second video on Sadhana Path. The last video ended on Tasya Hetu Avidya. The cause of the union between Purush and Prakriti, or the seer and the seen, is avidya or ignorance. Now we move on to the definition of Hana. Hana is nothing but avoidance. And what do you have to avoid? The avoidance of the distinction between the seer and the seen. When this absence of avidya, or the absence of the distinction between the seer and the seen, is known, one knows that one is pure consciousness and only the seer, then Kevalya dawns and automatically Hana or avoidance develops. How? Through Viveka Khyati. What is Viveka Khyati? So Viveka is discrimination and Khyati is awareness. So the discriminative awareness of the eternal and the non-eternal, and what is real from the non-real. That is basically the seer is pure consciousness and unaffected. This Viveka Khyati is developed, and that is possible. Now what happens if Viveka Khyati, or this discriminative awareness, dawns? The 7 stages of enlightenment happens. So again, these 7 stages of enlightenment, you don't need to go. You just need to understand that, the 7 stages of enlightenment, nothing but from the gross to the, the subtle, as one rises up. That's pretty much it, and this is what happens. These are only one-liners, you don't need to go in detail. Okay. Next, Patanjali describes to move on to necessity of the yoga practice, or why the yoga practice is important. Mainly he says for 2 things: Asuddhikshaya, for the destruction of the impurities, and Jnanadipti, for the dawning of the spiritual awareness, or the spiritual light. So for these 2 things, the yoga practice is very important. Then he moves on to describe the Ashtanga Yoga. Yam Niyam Asan Pranayam Dharana Dhyana Samadhi Ashtava Angani. The 8 angas, or the 8 limbs of the yoga practice are, as we all know. So then he moves on to describe yamas. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, Yamaha. Okay, so mainly with yamas and niyamas, the fruits are asked in the Neta Yoga exam. So we directly go into the fruits. So what he says, Ahimsa Pratisthayam. Pratishtha means being firmly established. Being firmly established in Ahimsa, what happens? The abandonment of the hostility. Tat Sannidha Vairatyagaha. Vaira is hostility and Tyaga is abandonment. So being firmly established in Ahimsa, Vairatyaga happens. Then Satya Pratisthayam Kriya Phala Shrayatvat. The Kriya and the Phala, your action and the fruit of the action, that happens according to your wish. So in a sense, a divine buddhi is developed, in which whatever result of the fruit you want of your actions happens. That is Satya. Asteya Pratisthayam Sarvaratna Upastham. Asteya. By Asteya Pratisthayam, being firmly established in Asteya, what happens? The knowledge of all the gems, basically all the gems of the world, is developed. Brahmacharya Pratisthayam Virya Labha. Virya is strength, courage. Virya is gained. One becomes a very fierce warrior in a sense. Then Aparigraha. By Aparigraha, what happens? The knowledge of the birth takes place. By previous birth, this birth, from where birth comes, everything about the birth comes. So again, you don't need to know the Sanskrit terminology as such, you just need to know what is the fruit of each and every yama. Next we move on to niyama. Okay, so again niyamas are 5 in number, as you've seen: Saucha, Santosha, Tapa, Swadhyaya, and Ishvara Pranidhana. What is Saucha? Saucha is cleanliness. Cleanliness at mind, body level. Okay, what happens through Saucha? Through the continuous practice of Saucha over a period of time, the indifference towards the body is developed. One becomes indifferent towards the body and also non-attached to the others. These 2 things happens. Okay. Also for yamas, Patanjali says that these 5 things, these 5 yamas, if one practices irrespective of the jati, desha and kala. Jati is the birth, desha is the place, and kala is time. So when these 5 things are practiced irrespective of these things over a long period of time, then they become great disciplines. We don't need to go into detail, this is very. Next we move on to Santosha. Santosha is contentment, and by the practice of contentment over a period of time, what happens? Unexcelled happiness dawns. Then we move on to Tapas. Tapas again, penance. This sutra is very important. Kaya Indriya Siddhihi Asuddhikshayat Tapasaha. Kaya and Indriya Suddhi. The body and the mind, perfection in body and mind is gained, and Asuddhikshaya, the impurities are destroyed by the practice of tapasa. Then we move on to Swadhyaya. what is Swadhyaya? Again, this Swadhyaya is basically self-study of the scriptures and union with the desired deity. So here he mentions an Ishta Devata. Anyone on a yogic practice on this path of on this path to enlightenment has a desired deity, a desired god or a desired deity who he prays to. So by the perfection in Swadhyaya, he can unite with the desired deity. Then Ishvara Pranidhanani Samadhi Siddhi. He says by Ishvara Pranidhanana directly Samadhi dawns. That's what he says. Then we move on to asana. To define asana, Patanjali says Sthiram Sukham Asanam. Being sthira and sukha. Sthira is unmoved and sukha is happy. Being sthira and sukha, that is asana. How to master the asana? He says by two things. Prayatna Shaitilya, Ananta Samapattibhyam. Prayatna Shaitilya. One needs to effortlessly lose the body, and Ananta Samapatti. Ananta is a serpent. Samapatti is meditation. So meditation on the serpent, and by loosening the body, one can master asanas. And okay, what if one masters asanas? The result will be he will go beyond the dvendva or the pairs of opposites. The pairs of opposites like hot, cold, success, failure, etc. So he can easily go beyond opposites, and the opposites won't affect him anymore if he masters the asanas. Then he moves on to describe the pranayama. Tasmin sati swasa praswasa gati vichcheda pranayama. Swasa praswasa, inhalation and exhalation. Gati is the control the flow. Vichcheda is by controlling or by modifying the flow of the inhalation and exhalation, one can master the pranayam, or by cessation basically. Okay. Then he moves on to describe the four kinds of pranayams. Bhaya is external, Abhyantara is internal, Stambha Vritti is suppressed pranayama, Bhaya Abhyantara is beyond the internal and external. So basically you just need to know the four names. Even if you don't remember what it is, it's okay. So what happens if one masters pranayama? He says the psychic centers get activated. So what Patanjali says is that the psychic centers are covered by the veil of knowledge or by the sense organs that we see. So when one actually masters pranayama, the psychic centers start to dawn and they become activated, and also the mind becomes fit for dharana, or mind is ready for further meditation. Then he moves on to describe pratyahara. Pratyahara is, as we all know, is nothing but withdrawal of the mind from the respective sense organs. That is pratyahara, and he gives the same definition in this book. And then what he says, what is the result of this pratyahara? Mastery over the senses. So this is pretty much it for Sadhanapada. Again, it's very short, one-liners, you don't need to go into detail. In the next subsequent videos, we will be covering Vibhuti and Kaivalyapada. Thank you.